Fortunately kicked me out of the lobby. I think we got some rain at the end of qualifying. Is that right, Will?
We do indeed.
Oh. Well, there we go. So at the moment, Tim Tonnerre is going to be starting from the back. Tim 12 takes pole again. Bendel was retired from the session. Now, are we going to see some rain at the start of the race?
I mean, I hope so. I mean, I don't hope so, actually. This race will take like 4 hours if it happens.
Yeah. Are you in the race, Joe?
I was gonna wait a minute for the formation lap to finish so it doesn't put me in.
Ah, right, yeah, sensible. So, final classifications are Tim 12 takes pole with Tulko alongside him in P2. We've got Cress and Prototype Steph on the second row. Then we've got Chicken Guy and Matt Cause on the third row. FTRL, Hammer Time and Blue Flag, the two admins, in 7th and 8th. Then we've got Bendel and Agent Panda rounds off the top 10. And then Chaz and Rich T Game 11th and 12th respectively. The last two drivers to set a time. And then we've got Toon Patter, Tim Tonnerre, the championship leader, starting in 14th, and Goy Karp rounding off the grid in P15. So again, apologies for that. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. So now we're just going to be waiting for the drivers to ready themselves up, get the strategy sorted. Do you think it's going to be an easy one stop for everybody, Will? I think there's only Agent Panda that's qualified on the Hypersofts.
Yeah, the softs are incredibly durable. Because obviously they're missing out an entire sort of classification of tyres, aren't they? Going from ultras to soft.
That is a very, very valid point. Oh yeah, I can just see in the background, underneath the Rolex sign at the end of the pit straight, the safety car is having a full-on rave. I wish I could zoom in, but hopefully the viewers can see.
That's Codemasters fixed safety car. That'll be.
Yep, that's a good point. I wonder if it does that, if a safety car comes out tonight. I wonder if it's jumping about like that. That would be quite entertaining.
Yeah, I would. That really spice up the evening.
Yeah, Pagani's pointed that out in the chat as well. Anyway, so Will, as normal, do you want to take us through the formation lap?
Yeah, it seems to be my thing now, doesn't it?
It does.
So we're missing City Posh, so they can't have the usual line about Crest and City Posh being next to each other on the grid. So that's a bit of a shame for me there, but I'll have to come up with something else, I suppose. We've got all of the top 10 except Agent Panda on a harder compounder tyre, so we'll see one stops from everyone on the grid apart from wing changes, apart from Panda, we've got to do two. We've got most of the championship content up there: Tim 12, Grass, Chicken Guy, Matt Cause, Hammer Time. They're all sort of in and around the top 7, 8. The only one exception to that really is Tim Tonnerre, starting from 14th. He's gone with the soft, so as long as he doesn't do what I do, take my start on the hardest tyre and put it in a wall, he should be able to get up the hill fairly well. Not the easiest track, of course, but he should have a significant pace advantage on those around him with his performance this season. So no one's been disqualified on the safety car lap this time around, which could be an FTRL first if we manage to get to the end of that particular lap. We might see some pretty good battling with Hammer Time and Blue Flag. They like to go reel to reel a bit. Blue Flag, obviously, very good reel to reel racer, as is Hammer Time, so that should be pretty entertaining. Prototype Steph doing another big qualifying performance in 4th. Yeah, backed that up last time in Mexico, getting a podium, so we'll see if he can do a similar thing today. Corporate Racer has put in a very decent lap in 2nd. I think that's by far and away his best qualifying this season, so fair play to him. But he had a bit of a controversial race in the Singapore performance, so hopefully we'll see a cleaner one. I was about to say that, but it seems Tim Tonnerre and Goy Karp have had a small collision. That's obviously Goy Karp's racing instinct there is taken over for a bit, and they're actually going to start without doing their warming of the tyres, which will be fine. It's a long old lap, this one, isn't it?
It is. I've just noticed as well, that Tim 12 is about 4.5 seconds ahead of Tulko, so his tyres are going to be rapidly decreasing in temperature.
They are. Not as much as boys and Tim Toners, but they'll definitely be on the way down.
Now, who's going to be leading going into turn 1? I think Tulko.
Yeah, he can be quite punchy. Torco, I think if he sees a gap, he'll go for it. So I think Torco.
Yeah.
You might be right there.
Hopefully there's no chain reaction, but anyway, we are ready to start the Singapore Grand Prix. For Division 2, we are 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go. Looks like Tim 12's had a reasonable start, but Torco's going to be leading into turn 1. As predicted, they both run wide. There's a spin in the background.
Matt has it, Steph, there. Lost some wing in the process, but Steph thankfully looks okay.
Yeah, Tulko is in the lead of the Grand Prix. And Tim 12 is going to take a look up the inside. Tulko smashed into the barrier. I think Tim 12 gave him a bit of a shunt there, and Cress is going to be putting them right under pressure. Heading into... Oh, there's more contact. Tulko's going to be struggling now, leading the front. Leading from the front, should I say. And he's got half a front wing, so this could cause a bit of a chain reaction behind him. He's already seeing some of the guys grouping up. Cress is right on the back of Tim 12.
Yeah, Tim Tyres lost a couple of positions there. He gained on the opening few corners. So in fact, just gone very wide, hit a wall.
Oh, Cress up the in. Oh, Cress had a look up the inside of Tim 12 going into the little hairpin just after the bridge. Yeah, Tim 12 seems to be struggling for traction, to be honest.
Yeah, he does.
So this would be the perfect time for Tulko to try and pull away, but he's got that wing damage, and around Singapore, wing damage is really, really going to dampen your chances. Have you seen much, Joe? Have you managed to get in?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at a few of the guys at the back.
Yeah, keep us posted on anything you find. Well, Agent Panda's managed to hold position. Tim 12's give Cress... Well, Tim 12 and Cress have both overtaken Tulko, who got a poor run out the final corner, which is to be expected, and I think we're going to see him start to lose some place. He's got Chicken Guy just behind him as well, but there's a nice little battle for the lead at the moment. Now, I know you said that Matt-Cause hit the back of Steph. Did Steph pick up any damage? Yeah, Tulko's run wide there.
I don't think so. It seemed like Matt hit the back of Steph and then span him around a bit, hit the side of Steph, so I don't think he actually managed to break any of his wing.
Yeah, well, Tulko's... he's come into the pits and he's left the session, so whether that's internet problems or whether he's just given up, he did pick up a time penalty on the first lap. Now, where is Chaz in all this? Is he back in his car?
Tim is right on the back of Thrifty Gaming.
Yeah, that he is. On board with the championship leader, who's moved up 3 positions already, but he is already 11 seconds away from the race leader, so he's going to have to put in a real shift. Once he gets clear of these guys and some of the guys in front of him start to pit, he's going to really have to push.
Yeah, the guy is lagging everywhere.
Yeah. Unfortunately, doesn't seem to have the best connection, Chicken Guy, at times. Yeah, there we go. Lagged out of the session. Yeah, Matt Caw's missing the front right part of his wing. But
got pit stops. Talking how many times blue flag, all have to repair their wing, I'm presuming.
Well, that's promoted Goy Carp up into P8. So Goy Carp.
He spun it.
Yeah, Tim Tonner's had a right wobble there. Has he lost any of his wing? I think he's lost the front right part of his wing. Here he has.
Whole chunk of
wow. So, a lot of drama at the start of this Singapore Grand Prix, and we're only on lap 3. Could this be a sign of things to come? Anyway, Cress is still...
Prototype Steph has just gone past the ghost car of Chicken Guy.
Yeah, Cress is on the prowl.
Goy car made the most positions up so far in this race. He's up 7.
He certainly has. It could be a very good opportunity for Goy to score some points here today, because the guys behind him are going to have to do... Oh, Tim Tonnerre's gone.
Where's he lost
wow. Going to go on board with blue flag, but the championship leader is out of the Grand Prix. Now, the likes of Chicken Guy, if he can get back into his car quickly. Cress, Matt Cause, yeah, Tim Tonnerre's lost it completely there. Surely that should be a safety car. Surely that should be a safety car.
Come on then, Codemasters, you improve safety car spawn rate. Spawn rate's probably the wrong word.
Yeah,
you get my point.
I don't know how a safety car's got to come out there.
Well,
it's taking up half the track.
The car's disappeared now anyway, so.
Well, Talco races right on the back of blue flag after their pit stop, and blue flag managed to get the jump on him, so I'm not too sure what happened there, because Talco was running higher up than blue flag, and I think they both had to repair their wings. But I think anybody from blue flag downwards is going to have to pit twice, minimum.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
Providing the guys ahead of them can keep it clean, they should all be on for some points here, because blue flag is 24.5 seconds away from Goy. I imagine that time will come down, but it doesn't seem like it's coming down by too much at the moment. So Goy's doing a good job in P8. Both the Force Indies are doing a very, very good job indeed.
Chicken Guy back in his car now, and he's right behind Prototype Steph.
It's about to say, it's going to make a move.
Yeah, he thought better of it. He left his nose in to maybe freak Steph out, but Steph's a good driver. I doubt he'll crack under pressure. Touch wood. Chicken Guy does look quick. He's good on his tyres as well as Chicken Guy.
Very beneficial around here, of course.
Yeah, I mean they'll be even fresher now. He's had the AI driving for a lap, so when the guys ahead of him start to, or the guys around him, should I say, start to pit, that will massively enable him to push for another lap or two.
Tim Paul's starting to extend that lead at the front now as well.
Yeah, I think he's found his rhythm now. Now, are we going to see a move from Chicken Guy? Provides on a good exit, which he does get. I think probably about the same as Steph. It doesn't seem to me that he's enabled his DRS. I don't know whether it's the same for you, but he's going to look up the inside of Steph. Steph breaks late, and Steph's going to have the inside line going to the next corner, but he sits behind. Sensible driving.
Good racing.
Good move.
Okay. Blue flag.
Matt Cause might be in on the action in a few laps time as well. Those guys fighting as well, having to catch up a little bit.
Well, Talco up behind blue flag. He's going to have the inside line. Should be a straightforward move. Blue flag leaves it in there though. Yeah, Talco gives the room. Good driving. Now, if only he could have done that in Singapore in performance.
Oh, he's just hit the wall.
Oh, he has.
He's spanning.
Well, right on cue. Did that give Simon more wing damage? I don't think it did.
Ooh.
I think it maybe just give him a bit of a wobble. So. No. Which is good for Simon, because otherwise that would have been an extremely long race for him.
Is that a bit of desync, or did Talco just get a bit closer then?
I think Talco got a little bit close. I'm not too sure exactly what happened, I must say. Well, most of the guys now pretty well spread out. So there's not really too much to talk about.
Oh, blue flag. It's just
Yeah.
hit the wall again.
I saw that. Did that give him any damage? No, it doesn't look like it. He's
Doesn't
playing
look
with
like
fire though. Hammer time in the background. Got a little bit back end happy. Coming out of the final corner.
Yellow flag 6-2. Sure that is.
No. Well, the Force India is going well in 7th and 8th. I think they've only got a couple of points so far in the constructors. So let's hope they can get plenty more today. Meanwhile, Bendel's driving well in P6. I know the
Hopefully they can
closest.
finally settle the argument to see who is number one driver at Force India.
Well, exactly. But at the moment, there's not really much to talk about. I think there'll obviously be a few pit stops in the coming 3 or 4 laps, maybe, and then that should shake things up a little bit. Now, if Crest pits a lap before Tim 12, do you think he's going to get out ahead of him? Because I think the undercut's quite effective around Singapore, especially with the tyre temperatures the way that they are.
Depends how much he gets held up. If he comes in a lot earlier than, say, Chicken Guy and Steph and all that, it might be a little bit difficult for him, but depends how quick he can get past those guys, I think.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the gap to the leader. I think if he was to pit, he'd come out in between Rich T Gaming and Goy. Somewhere around that sort of margin. If he can get out just ahead of Goy, then he should have some clean air, because Goy's about 7.5, 8 seconds behind Rich T Gaming.
Yeah, with Tim Tonera out, this is some pretty big chance for any of the guys higher at the table.
Yeah, Raver's Avenger is going to be kicking himself, I think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately not
Oh,
able
hang
to
on.
race.
Has Tim 12 just lost a bit of his wing? Because I saw a sort of shard of wing being thrown up there as Crest drove through that sector.
It may well have been. I'm just going to have a look at the championship standings after round 6. So currently, Chicken Guy is 18 points behind Tim Tonnerre. So if Chicken Guy was to get P2 in this race, which seems fairly realistic, it could happen, he would go level on points with Tim Tonnerre at the top of the championship. If Cress was to win, Cress would also go level at the top of the championship.
It's close, isn't it?
It certainly is. So if Cress wins, Chicken Guy comes second, there's going to be 3 drivers on 99 points. So, fact of the day.
Yeah, I think Tim 12 might have lost a bit of his wing, to be honest, because he's not pulling away from Crest anymore.
Yeah, he seems to be struggling.
He's
It doesn't look like it from a spectator point of view, but I mean, it's difficult to really see whether he's got just a tiny bit. Unfortunately, haven't got. I think he has actually, the front right.
Yeah, it's just come down by another half a second. So.
Yeah. Keep an eye on that. Now, I imagine Tim 12 is going to be the earlier of the pit stops, but I think what that's going to do is enable Crest to take the lead of the Grand Prix after the pit stops, because he'll have to have his wing changed.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? I mean,
You'd think
he's
so.
holding it at about 3 seconds.
It's come down by about half a second in half a lap, roughly.
Yeah. This corner, you'll see it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Stopped
struggling.
massively.
Well, still a lot to look out for in this race. But Bendel is now on the back of Matt Cause,
Yeah, I think Matt's burnt his tyres.
and Rich T Gaming is also charging up to the back of him. So hopefully Dan has a good result tonight. He deserves it. So But Bendel now on the charge. I think we might see a move on the next straight coming out of turn 3, 4. I want to say.
Yeah.
Turn 4.
Looks like Matt's tyres are really hurting.
Yeah, so I think we're going to take on board of Bendel now as he's going to go to the inside. Matt Cause is going to be inside line for a defensive move. Yeah, Matt just about holds Bendel off, but Rich D Gaming is now closing. He's closed up half a second already in the first sector. So we could see a nice three-way battle now for P5. Oh, Bendel's hit the back of Matt Cause. I don't think it gave him any damage, but he needs to be careful. If I was Bendel, I'd be looking at the situation thinking, right, well, he's obviously slower. I've got to weigh up a move rather than try and force one. If you try and force a move around Singapore, it's not going to end well. But Rich T Gaming now is even closer to Bendel than what he is to Matt Cause, than what Bendel is to Matt Cause.
Everyone got a pretty equal exit there.
Who is the highest of the soft runners at the moment? It is Bendel.
Bendel.
Wow.
He seems to do this quite a lot, Bendel.
Yeah, he does.
To make some decent progress.
Very underrated driver is Bendel. He hasn't got bags of pace, but what he has got is consistency. I can't get my words out today, unfortunately. But we are a third of the way through. Prototype Steph has come into the pits, so he's looking to try and close that gap up. And Matt Cause has also boxed.
Yeah.
So the ultra soft guys are starting to come in now. I imagine we're going to see the front three come in. Chicken Guy maybe will go a lap later. But in my opinion, missed opportunity there for Cress. Because if he pitted a lap earlier, and also Tim Tonnerre got a wing change the following lap, he was going to get quite a nice little lead.
Yeah, especially onto the softs, like having a lap extra fresh. That's a weird way of saying it. Lap fresher softs is not that big difference as like a lap fresher super softs, for example, because they just, you don't lose as much on the tyre wear, so
Yeah.
definitely worth an undercut.
Anything caught your eye, Joe?
Not really. Everybody's like really spaced out apart from the guys in the top 5.
Yeah.
Trying to keep an eye at anybody towards the back, really, seeing if anything's happening.
Yeah.
It's just locked up and nearly hit the wall.
Yeah, Tim 12 is holding Cress at 3 seconds despite the wing damage, so he's doing alright.
Yeah, I'm just on board with Rich T Gaming at the moment. I think he's managing his battery very, very well. He's on 90%, whereas Bendel is on 65. So, and Dan is closing. I think he needs to push at some stage soon, because I think he is quicker than Bendel at the moment. He just needs to weigh up a move and go for it. Depends how much he wants to progress in this race. Is it just about finishing and getting points for Dan, or is it about finishing as high as possible?
He had a fairly large slide went out of there, so I wouldn't have set it up brilliantly.
Oh, it's run very, very wide. A little bit of lag from Dan. You never know, he could just be Agent Panda coming in for his third stop. He's not having the best of times. Goykarp has pitted from P8, I believe that was. Agent Panda's retired from the session, unfortunately. Goykarp is now down into P11.
Changed his wing.
What tyres has Goy gone on? Ultra soft, so he's going to have to come and do another stop. So I think that might be Goy's chance of points unless there's any more retirements out the window.
I mean, there could easily be several more. You might still be okay.
Exactly. Well, I mean, we're only a third of the way through the race. For what feels like an eternity, has only just begun.
Cress is just
Long
tapped the
all.
wall.
One more race in Singapore.
Yeah, now is Cress going to pit? Oh, it's another missed opportunity from Cress.
Yeah, he really needed to have pitted there. Lap 8 can be a bit early for the softs, but lap 10, 11, definitely get them to go.
Yeah. Now he needs to come in this lap 100% because he's not closing that gap down to Tim. Rich T is still on the prowl. Oh yeah, his car is a bit slidey now.
Yeah.
But he's on the softs, he needs to get those to about lap 19 maybe, lap 20.
Yeah, he's not the best of the ultras for the full stint.
Yeah, blue flag on the back of Matt Cause in the battle for P8.
That's just pit. So I imagine he should pull away from blue flag.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Danny's trying to actually overtake Bendel because he puts his ERS up into high, but he doesn't seem to try and overtake him. He must be trying to save fuel or something.
Yeah. Well, he's keeping pace with him even when he's driving conservatively. If I was him, I'd possibly have a bit of a gamble and try and maybe force a move before the pit stop. Either that or is he looking to just get the undercut on Bendel. So it's only the top 5 left to pit in this Grand Prix. Yeah, the top 2 have pitted, so let's just go on board with Tim. Yeah, he's getting a wing change, so Cress is going to take the lead of the Grand Prix. But what could have been so much more. Oh, Chicken Guy's nearly got him as well. He's going to be right behind him coming out the pits. Oh no, he's not. Chicken Guy's just come in. He's right at the end. Now, is Bendel going to overtake Chicken Guy? Yeah, Bendel and Rich T are both. Yeah, he's overtaken both of them. So
this could help Cress massively.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. That's played right into Cress's hands. That has. Tim 12 only got 45% battery. Cress has got 80%, trying to warm up his tyres a little bit. Now, in my opinion, this is Cress's to lose.
Be interesting to see what Team 12's outright hits on the softs with no wing damages.
Yeah.
Dan's falling back on Bendel a little bit now. He's just over a second.
Yeah, well, Tim's about 3.1 seconds away from Cress, and that's going to drop. So everybody apart from Goy and Toompata, who I believe is ghosting at the moment, as Tim 12's going for a move on Dan, is he? Yes, he is. Nice move, gets it done. Dan doesn't put up too much of a fight, realises that he's not racing Tim. Sensible from Dan.
Steph's not that far away from Tim 12. He's only about a second, wasn't he?
Yeah. Second and a half.
4 seconds between Cress and Tim 12.
Wow. This has now become interesting. Right, Prototype Steph's going to have Rich T Gaming going into turn 1, I believe. Is he?
Team 12. He's got him.
Yeah, Rich T backs out of that one as well. Now, I don't imagine Bendel will put up a fight against Prototype Steph. I imagine they're probably both in a party together. Good friends, those two. He's probably going to try and tow him as much as possible and give him the opportunity. But, crucially, Chicken Guy's 3.5 seconds behind Rich T Gaming. Now, if you're Dan in this situation, you would pop your ERS down, your fuel down, and just try and get towed along by Steph. And then maybe capitalise when Steph gets past Bendel. Prototype Steph just picked up a 3-second time penalty. Yeah.
I think him, Matt, and Tolko, the 3 guys I've seen pick up a time penalty so far.
Yeah, is Steph going to take a look? Well, Bendel is putting up a fight against Steph, surprisingly. I didn't think he would. They're racing different races, those two. Cress
Just
is...
keep a close eye on that gap up between the top two.
Yeah, literally just about to say, yeah, there's 4 seconds between those two. I'm surprised that Bendel's holding up Steph here. I honestly thought we would let him go. Because the gap's already 4 seconds. Tim 12, 3 second time penalty.
That could decide it.
So effectively, Cress has got... Oh, has he just got another one?
No, I don't think it's just. I don't think it's gone away.
I'll have a check. Well, I don't know. I think it might have got another one. It says on here he's got 3 seconds and then like after the penalty plus warning.
Wow.
So maybe 6 seconds.
Maybe 6 seconds indeed. So Chicken Guy's caught up to this train pretty quickly. He's going to be one to watch coming into this race. So what we said could actually come true. If Cress wins and Chicken Guy comes second, you're going to have 3 drivers on 99 points.
Just great, really, isn't it?
It certainly is. Tim Ton has left the session.
He's obviously got bored of watching his friend Tim.
He certainly has. Now Chicken Guy on the back of Bendel. How is his exit here? Bendel gets a slightly better one. Chicken Guy, wow, the speed. That's going to be a move done, I think. Yeah, Bendel doesn't put up a fight. So now it is
Bendel.
a top 4 shootout.
Everyone's in the right positions. Well, like, they're all in the same race, effectively.
I'm just thinking about where Bendel and Rich T are going to come out after their pit stop.
Around blue flag hammer time.
Let me just have a look. Yeah, probably in between those two, I'd say. Well, crucially though, Prototype Steph is on 3 lap older tyres than the other 3 drivers around him, so that could prove costly coming into the race.
Yeah, he's got a 3 second time penalty, well, Steph. Chicken Guy doesn't, so.
So who's left?
If Steph was on third.
Who is going to have to pit again in this race? So Goy will be 1. Blue flag hammer time, and then Torco, Rich T and Bendel. So we should probably still see another 6 pit stops, maybe?
I think so.
Well, Tim 12's brought the gap down by a second from when we last checked in. But with Jeff's new upgraded feature, he will probably be telling Cress that Tim does have however many penalties he does have, so he's not going to be pushing too hard.
But equally, you don't want Tim 12 to get clean air out in front of you because, judging by his pole time, he's got a lot of spare pace.
Exactly. Well, I think the next crucial thing on track is for Chicken Guy to get past Prototype Steph, because then he'll be able to try and close down that 8 second gap that Steph's currently got to the top 2 to try and get within the 6 second window of Tim 12. Now we know Chicken Guy's better on his tyres than probably anyone on the grid. Matt Cause has picked up his 2nd time penalty. Now,
yeah, anyone that finishes without time penalty on this is pretty impressive. It's a long old race.
Certainly is. 1 little lapse in concentration and that's a warning. But Torco Racer is now only a 1.5 seconds behind Rich T Gaming. So this is really a battle for position because both of those guys are going to have to pit, as is Bendel.
Team 12 on the charge, 1.6 now.
So even though Matt,
He's flying in a minute.
yeah, even though Matt Cause has got 6 seconds worth of penalties, he's still currently in net P5, which wouldn't be the worst result for Matt.
Not Tim 12, sorry, Torko's just hit the wall. I don't know if he's lost wing.
Yeah, I thought that was Tulko. I wasn't sure whether it was Tulko or Rich T. He hasn't on his front left. I can't quite see his front right though. See if I can change his angle. I think he might have lost a tiny bit there actually.
Yeah, Cress
Actually,
is
yeah.
just beginning to get his mirrors full with Tim 12 now.
Could see a battle for the lead coming very, very soon indeed. Setting fastest laps now. Cress is going to see that.
That is a lightning lap considering they're a couple laps old now.
Yeah, both got similar battery as well. Good to see Tim 12 having a bit more luck than what he was having at the start of the season.
Going 4/10 a lap quicker.
So by that logic, in maybe a lap's time, at the end of the next lap, he should be right on the back of Cress. But with the aid of DRS in the short little spurts that you get it on this track, that'll probably be a lot sooner. Tulko's now in DRS range of Dan, but I imagine Dan and Bendel will be pitting.
Oh, chicken guy's hit the wall. He was lagging a little bit and then he tapped the wall. I don't think he's lost anything.
Oh my god.
He's just scraped the wall again. I'm not too sure what's going on with chicken guy.
I think he might be lag again. But he's closed that gap up now to prototype Steph.
Oh!
Yeah, he's.
I don't think he's actually hitting the wall.
Yeah,
Thankfully.
that's really weird. I'm just gonna not watch chicken guy.
Yeah, I've done that as well. I've gone on to the
viewers to that.
Gone on to the battle for the lead, but I think we might see a move somewhere else on the grid between Tulko and Rich T.
Who's Cress coming up to the backup?
That is Toon Patter's ghosted car. So Goy Carp has made his final stop now. So with obviously Toon Patter not being in the race, if there is one more retirement, then that will mean Goy Carp will get himself a point.
I think we'll see a move here at the end of the DRS race. Maybe not, it's too far back.
Yeah, he seems a little bit too far back.
Torko. 4/10 now.
Oh, Dan just 3 seconds.
Yeah, he needs to keep his head though, Dan. He's still on course for points. Well, this is effectively for what, net P6 of the race?
Tim 12 is right on the back of Crest now, heading under the little archway. I'm not entirely sure what it is. I'm just gonna
I think it's a bridge.
It's a bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see a change in the lead soon. Or is Crest going to show some masterclass defensive driving? They've still got 12 laps left.
Yeah, he needs to hold him over a few more laps. I can see Tim 12 getting ahead and pulling ahead by a pretty big amount because he's very quick today, Tim 12.
Yeah, he definitely is. Now, with a good result for Tim 12, that's going to bring him a lot closer to those promotion spots. And I'm sure if Tim Tonnerre goes up, I'm sure Tim 12 is going to want to go up as well. Oh, Tim 12 on the outside.
Oh, that was nice.
That was very nice indeed. It was squeaky bum time, but he's going to take the lead of the race. Now Crest needs to stay as close as possible.
Brilliant move. I haven't seen anyone do that, really.
I feel Tim 12 is just gonna fly away now though.
Yeah.
And Crest just hit a wall as well.
Torco Racer has pitted onto ultra soft tyres, so he's probably going to get the jump on Rich T and on Bendel.
He has changed his wing then.
How is he?
Yeah.
So Rich T's now pushing to try and overtake Bendel. Now this is the battle for net P6, like we said earlier.
Some
So-
decent points on offer.
They are very decent points, both of these guys. Yeah, Dan had a bit of a slide coming out of there.
He's been sliding around on those tyres for a good 6 laps now.
Yeah, I think Bendal's a bit better on his tyres than what Dan is, so Bendal might go an extra lap at most, but I would probably imagine that they'll both pit at the end of this lap. Whatever way,
Decent
Dan
exit this time
has a
round.
very good opportunity here. He's going to take a look around the outside. He has a look. They're going to go side by side.
Oh, this is dangerous.
Oh, great move from Dan. Bendal's conceded the position.
Yeah, that's a great move.
Yeah, now Dan needs to pit now.
Xbox just got another penalty, so that's 9 seconds worth of penalties.
Yeah, and I wouldn't put it. But if he's had 3 so far, I wouldn't put it past him getting another one coming into this race. Is Dan going to pit? Yes, he is, and Bendal stays out. So that's going to be net position for Dan, I feel.
Yeah.
So what I'm
Chicken
going to
guy.
do?
He's close now, sir.
There he is. I'm going to keep an eye on Tulko and see where Dan comes out in respect to that.
Blue flag's pit as well.
5-second stop go is not having the best of luck, his blue flag.
Dan's about to
Yeah.
come out of the pit, and Toko is just about to come onto the straight. I think Dan's gonna stay ahead.
Yeah, just
definitely.
I thought he would stay ahead. I just wondered by how much it would be.
He did change his wing. Just remember the talker.
Yeah. So what is it, about 3 seconds? Now,
Yeah.
Tulko is on 1 lap older tyres than Dan, so Dan needs to get his tyres up to temperature quick and pull away. But Bendal's going to have to pit in front of him.
Although Torco does have a bunch of penalties. Got 3, I believe.
Has he got that many, is he?
Yeah, Dam's got 1, so.
Chicken guys within a second of Proto's.
How's he done that? How's 212 pulled a past his lap?
Corner cuts.
He's just doing a corner less than what else on that.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to see a move soon. Chicken guy closing up to the back of prototype Steph, as we said. Other than that, it's pretty well spread out. Tulko's already.
Yeah.
Between Dan and Vendel is what, 23 seconds?
Into the pits he comes.
Yeah, that's one to keep an eye on as well. Chicken guy
Okay.
doesn't have
Another time
TRS.
penalty.
Yeah, Tulko's got plenty of penalties. Now, if Dan's sensible, Dan probably just let him go. If he's checking with Jeff how many penalties he's got, he doesn't want to get involved in a collision because this is.
Vendel's out of the box. Down and around straight. It's gonna be
we go.
close. Oh no, it's not. Dan's just 4+.
And crucially, Tulko's got past Bendel as well, so Bendel has